All right. Another episode of A Podcast. Your host, Stephen Maxted. And today we have Karl Redekop on here with Instatraction. And Karl, thanks for making time today.
No problem.
Yeah. And I'm excited to chat about your product. I know we go a little ways back on this product. And I remember meeting you when you were first doing this or starting to do it. I think I have some in my truck. So I'm excited to dive into this and see where things are at today with you, because they've changed a lot and you've grown quite a bit since that point, and had other hurdles that you've had to work through. So I'm pumped. But let's tell the listener a little bit about yourself.
Well, myself, I grew up farming. I still farm, and I always like to get into other ventures. So a friend of mine and we decided we would try doing something like this, and we thought we'd make a product that the truckers could use when they get stuck, and people that go ice fishing, off-road camping, any kind of hunting, even if you're just driving on a back street in Winnipeg, something a guy can use when you get stuck.
Absolutely.
So we started marketing this product, and we'll see where it'll take us.
Awesome. I mean, it sounds like you made it out of almost kind of like a passion, like things that you were probably doing, and then a way to solve a problem that you had, if I'm hearing that right.
Totally. Like, so often with a semi or a vehicle, like you park, you make ice, you can't get going again. So I thought, well, this is an easy solution here. And we put a patent on our product, got it trademarked, all those other hurdles you go through when you start a business. And now we're on our way.
Very cool. Awesome. What did you have, like a prototype version of it when you first started?
Yes, we went through numerous prototypes, which you think you got it figured out to begin with, and you never do, and you keep making changes. So that's why it keeps getting more expensive to make something like this. But we've made changes along the way from when we started with having to die grind every piece for 10 minutes to get all the sharp edges off to where we are now today. So we've come a long ways from our first few prototypes.
I would guess so. And how many prototypes did you end up making on the process?
There must have been 4 or 5 different kinds along the way with different changes we made, trying to get this right, that right. And now I think we've finally made all the improvements we can until we come up with another idea. But it's been a while anyway.
Good. That's awesome.
Glad we didn't sell too many to begin with, because we made so many improvements where it's just better where it is right now than to start off with.
For sure. No, I think that's a great point to me. I don't know if you have one handy there.
No, I can get one. I can have one within 30 seconds.
Sure. Well, if it's nearby, let's walk through it. Sure. Okay. I was going to say, or just kind of show us what's going on there. But if you got one right around the corner, great. Karl is on pause. He's gone to go get an Instatraction. He'll be back momentarily. We don't have commercial breaks yet, but in case we needed one, Instatraction, great for semis, residential vehicles. If you're stuck somewhere, ice, snow, wind, rain, need a quick way to get out. This impromptu ad brought to you by Instatraction. And Karl is coming back on scene here. He's just stepped away to grab one of the demos to walk us through. And Karl is back. Karl, I just posted an ad for you momentarily while you were gone here. This is perfect, though. Great. Cool. And so walk us through what the product is ultimately here and what you just brought back for everyone to see.
Here is the Big Gripper. It's a steel piece about 4 inches. We made teeth on here, so when you slip on ice with a vehicle, it just grabs more than if it'd be a solid piece of steel all the way across. We got our hooks at the end here, so we don't have any sharp places where a strap goes through. So you put it on your vehicle, and as this vehicle tire turns, it hits the ground and it gets you going again. So then you just run a ratchet strap through it, and you ratchet the strap to the side of the tire.
Awesome. And this, would you call it the Big Gripper?
Yes, we got the Big Gripper, which is for like a half-ton, bigger SUVs. Cool. There's for semi-trucks, big trucks, stuff like that. And then we got the little one, which is for a front-wheel drive vehicle. It's just a smaller frame. It's 2 inches wide instead of 3 wide, and it's lower. So the front-wheel drive vehicles, you won't hit your wheel well, etc. Right?
Smart.
So this is for a rear-wheel drive vehicle.
Cool. Very awesome. No, thank you very much for going and grabbing that real quick impromptu here. But I think people needed to see what it was and exactly that. So the gripper, the pointy part is going up on top of the tire. And then as it comes over, it's grabbing onto that snow and giving you more traction and able to get out of that situation ultimately. So
Totally.
yeah.
And guys that go ice fishing, they get stuck on the lake by themselves. No one there to help them out, or they forgot their shovel at home too. This is something that could really help them out in a pinch like that in a big way.
Yeah, no doubt. No
Or
doubt.
sometimes you just step off the road. That's all it takes, is just need that little bit of a help, and that's what this is for.
Right. So instead of having to call a tow truck out,
That's right.
or other help to help tow you out of a situation, this could definitely save a lot of time, if not save someone. Like you said, mentioning out there, like a lot of people do go ice fishing alone, or other remote places. You get stuck, you slip off a road. We have the perfect conditions for the bad situation, often in winter. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Absolutely. And it fits every model of vehicle, like the smaller one and the larger one will be accommodating for
Yes.
all vehicles.
There's just the odd time you have a rim that's closed and then you can't get the strap through the rim. Or sometimes some of those winter tire rims have very small holes that might not work. The brake caliper could become an issue with it, where the hole is located in the rim for sending the strap across. So you have to watch out for stuff like that. But the majority of vehicles, it will work.
Awesome. Fantastic. Very good. And how did testing go for these products when you were first creating the prototypes and stuff, Karl? Did you put them all like on your trucks?
I used my own vehicle, so if something would get wrecked, it'd be my vehicle. And we went through right away the first time we were tearing straps, this and that, and we found that we had done certain things wrong. So we had to make improvements along the way.
Yeah.
If they're too sharp, that doesn't work. The teeth, there has to be some slippage, like anything. You have to have slippage or else you break things. So
interesting. Okay. So instead of it being like the sharpest that it could be, you actually found that you had to like dull the edges on these things.
Yeah.
To make
It grabbed too hard, and then there was just too much of a shock on the strap. Stuff like that we came across, and the sharp edges on the teeth, or on the where you run your strap through, that was all stress points right away. Then you have to watch out for rims. Some rims are very sharp with spokes on them. So if you don't make it tight enough, and the Big Gripper slips on there a little bit because he didn't make it tight enough when they ratcheted it, it can the straps the rim can tear the strap in those spots. So
interesting.
That's why we've got a rubber block now for the ones for the SUVs. So the guy can put the rubber block in there, so it's extra protection for the strap. And we had to make stronger straps along the way too.
Very cool. Very awesome. Well, what was a big, outside of like the development of the product, sounds like there was lots of learnings there. What was another big hurdle that you experienced when launching Instatraction and doing this company?
Bigger hurdles was trying to get people to buy them to begin with. They didn't catch on. Some trucking companies right away they were on board, and the other individual, I never get stuck, or I got 4-wheel drive, I never get stuck with 4-wheel drive. It's like, well, then you've never experienced life if you never got stuck with a 4-wheel drive. But hurdles like that, or getting into a storefront, can be difficult too. It's having the right connections is what it really boils down to.
Yeah.
To get into any place, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Or thinking their clientele doesn't need anything like that. And then the next trucking company comes and buys hundreds of sets because they get it. They've had towing bills. They know what it costs, and the time wasted with those e-logs now. Like their truck could be driving when they waste all those hours, and they can't drive all those hours because they wasted waiting for a tow truck. So,
right. Well, what would a tow truck bill be for something like that? I actually don't.
Hear a lot of guys talking $400 or $500 just to move them 3 or 4 feet when they're stuck at a dock. And then it's also time wasted it can be sometimes hours till they come, right?
Right. Because you mean like at like a loading dock itself, like you've unloaded your load or you loaded up, but your truck is then sunk on like an icy surface and then you just can't move.
Hot tires make, as they cool down, they make ice below them. And then the truck has no weight on there. It can't move. They just stand there and spin. And that's where this comes in. That's why we made these things to begin with, just for to move you those few feet. You don't drive down the road with them at all. It's just to get you out, you take them off, and you don't drive fast either. You just idle your way along. Right.
Very interesting. So it's not even like, we're not talking like a major, I mean, obviously it sounds like it can maybe get you out of a situation, but it's not like a major stuck. It's more like this like inconvenience tow and a subtlety within trucking that can happen, and it's super needed.
That's right.
Something I did not know, Carl. And I've known about this product for a while. I did not know this about trucking and dropping off packages. So that's really cool. That's how that
Like the
fits in.
Amazon drivers, they go and they deliver their parcels. Sometimes you might just walk inside and come back and be like 10 minutes. And those vehicles have hot tires, they can make ice underneath them so quickly. And if they don't have proper weight over the tires, you won't move.
Huh.
That's
So
very well known in the highway tractor industry. The guys getting stuck at loading docks, or they park for overnight at the truck stop, flat surface, can't move in the morning. They made ice because their tires just made ice as they melted or cooled off.
Right. Huh. Interesting. So what ends up being the busiest time of year for you guys in this product? Is it kind of coming in now in the fall? Or
yeah, from November to March.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. And where is it most commonly used? Geographically, I'm thinking like across Canada where we are, pretty close to each other, but are you tapping into like northern states as well?
The northern US has been very good to us. California has been good to us too. Surprising, like Los Angeles area, we've sold a lot there, but I guess the trucks drive everywhere, right? So
yeah,
if they see it, they understand.
Right.
Or even the vehicles like the 4x4 half tons Jeeps, the guys that go off-roading in Moab and stuff like that, they've been buying too.
Right. Just a little extra ATVs. To get out of yeah.
You might drive into the river and try to come out and you can't quite get up with your ATV. You put something like this on, it gives you the extra little bit of traction to get up there, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. Interesting. Carl, I'm learning more about what we're on here. So that I guess that's kind of like why you should have some, and then why companies should have some is that what's the cost of your product nowadays? If we're talking like versus like a towing bill and stuff, like what's the savings for if someone buys a couple of these from you, have them in the vehicle, what does that go for?
Well, like for the semis right now in the US, we're charging $189 per set. It comes in a set of 2, and as the half-ton ones, they're about 179 US, and the little grippers, they run us at 129. Those are all American funds.
Right.
The pricing's a bit different in Canada because we include free shipping, so the prices vary slightly.
Understood.
Shipping can be a real interesting. All of a sudden, you find out you're paying $60 to ship one set. The next set might be $15. It's just all over the place.
Right. So you got to be careful about what you're telling your client that your shipping costs are.
Correct. That's why we include free shipping in the lower 48 in Canada.
Okay, interesting. And what's the best way for someone to find these, I guess, like in terms of, like stores or online? How do they order them?
Online right now, you go to Instatraction.com and you can order from our website.
Okay.
And you have a section for Canada or US for when you want to place your order. And there's videos on there, reviews, stuff like that, how to use it. That's all right there.
Awesome. And what, I guess like outside of there, are there any like stores currently that carry your product, or places where people might be able to see them?
We're not in any stores right now, but that'll be something we're looking at doing for the future here.
Yeah. Are you guys doing any, I've seen some posts from you guys in the past. Are you guys doing any like trade shows or events like that, like, or markets, I guess we'll call them trade shows or markets,
yes,
for the fall or winter?
We are doing a trade show in St. Paul, Minnesota for the ice fishing show they have.
Oh, cool.
That's the first weekend in December. It's December, 6, 7, and 8. That's quite the show. Like, you get about 30,000 people come through there, and Americans like to spend money on ice fishing. You find out in a hurry.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's been good for our business.
That's
very
fantastic.
good. Not last winter because it didn't freeze, but the winter before, the business just took off after we attended that show. Then we go down to Louisville for the Mid-America Trucking Show in March.
Okay.
That's the largest indoor trucking show in the U.S. Then we'll look at doing some other trade shows yet across North America, hopefully this winter yet too.
Fantastic. Okay, so the tour starts December. When's the one in Louisville, you said?
That is March 27th to 29th this year in the 2025.
Okay. Awesome. Fantastic. So people can come and check them out there if they haven't already seen them or touched them. I know that's something that folks sometimes want to do, right? They get a new product, they want to touch, feel, see this thing in real life. Is this, what's going on? Oh, like
A
how
lot
much
of
do they
people think
weigh?
they're made out of plastic because they're powder coated, and the orange makes it look that way. But when you
Right.
grab it and the set is over 12 pounds, this isn't plastic.
Okay. Right. So there's some weight to this thing when you're holding it, and that's probably why the shipping sometimes depends. For you guys there, I could totally see where that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a well-built product. Like it'd be hard to make it any better.
That's awesome. And how long do these things last for? Assuming that they don't get like caught on. One of the nuanced pieces you said about some special rims being an issue, perhaps. But outside of that, how long these things last for usually?
The
And
steel
what's the
pieces
lifespan?
should not wear out on you unless you're going to stand and spin them down on cement, and then you're just destroying them on fun. But straps you'll have to replace periodically if you they'll just wear and tear will get them. But if you don't use them very often, they'll last forever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too. And what's the gauge of steel that you guys are using on these? It's a pretty thick one. Like it wouldn't like I don't know what
The gauge number I don't have on the top of my head right now, but
okay.
it is what was it 5/16? I think it was thick.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a solid piece of metal. Going
those
underneath
pieces are over 4 pounds each, the big ones. So
right, and that's where you get up to about 12 in that pack there for whole package. Very awesome. Good. And what's turnaround time for these orders? If someone orders off the website today, Karl, and what does that turnaround look like for a Canadian or an American
they
client?
should be within courier or in the mail within 2 days for sure. Usually the next day.
Awesome. And then just depending on mail service, probably
That's correct. Most of the time it's done with a courier, but it all depends on the address where it's going to.
Yeah. Very good. What would be, I guess, like how big of a fleet can you cover in like a trucking company side of things? Like
there's not really a limit.
No, you guys are very good on getting that out to the folks. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to order 1,000 sets, we can do that for you.
Cool. Right on. And what is there any new products? Are you guys exploring doing other products in the horizon here? I know you have the big gripper and the small gripper there. But is there any other products that you guys are looking to do it in the future with Instatraction?
Right now, we're not thinking about it, but that doesn't mean it won't change tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to tell you about it anyway.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, I figured I would ask, see what's going on for you guys coming up here. So, no, I think that's super cool. And is it something that like it's caught on like locally, or like you mentioned with like the ice fishing crew, like that seems more stateside, but are a lot of trucking companies local?
It's easier to sell it to an American than it is to a Canadian.
Why do you think that is?
I think the mindset is different.
Yeah. Huh.
It just is. I don't know how to explain it, but it is.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just too cheap here.
Now,
I don't want to turn around local sales, but it's just a different mindset when you go down there.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely can be. I can certainly relate to that comment. Yeah, it just seems like such a natural fit up here. Like everyone in Winnipeg should probably have a set of grippers in the vehicle. Probably
good
save
Christmas present for nothing else, right? Anything like that. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, even with winter tires, you can still get stuck.
Yes.
A lot of people think that solves everything, and although they do help a lot, and I mean, not without this is no push for winter tires, but you notice the difference if you do have them on, or or if you do even if you have a vehicle that's all-wheel drive 4x4, winter tires definitely steps it up a bit. But something like this, if you do get it in a jam or a pinch, so to say, it certainly is going to be helpful.
Like the garbage trucks that go in the back lanes, quite often the snow's been piling up there. They get stuck quite easily, those trucks. Yeah. And we've sold quite a few to the garbage truck companies. Like that's just a natural fit for them to have that, because they got 3 guys sitting in a truck waiting for a tow truck. That's salaries you don't want to throw away, right?
Yeah. It's interesting when you think about it that way, because, and I know that metal is not cheap to get bent and cut like the way that you guys are doing that there. Then you're getting it powder coated anyway. So I think this is a really good, economic situation for your product. But when you start looking at, something that can help get people back to working quicker out of a 3-hour wait or 5-hour wait. I know knock on wood, I haven't had a lot of getting towed experience. But I have sat around and had to wait for a vehicle to get boosted. I know that I think most people locally here have had that experience on those really cold days where your vehicle just doesn't want to start if you didn't plug it in. Kind of a different scenario, but very relatable. Many folks that way, right? So now they have like, those portable boosting pack things that you can get. This is not a lot different in my mind. When I think about it, it's just a different situation where you can't move. You get stuck, you need a little extra boost, to use that language, directly related to your product there. And I think that's awesome. You've invented this thing. You got to go.
Even the back lane, let's say you're trying to get out there with your small car and the grader came and made a pile of snow and you just can't get through there. This thing would grab the cement. As long as it can grab onto the base of the cement, etc., it'll grab and get you out of there, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could be shoveling for a while if you can find a shovel.
Yeah, and power through kind of that icy snow mix. I can totally visualize exactly what that experience would be like. So, how long have you been doing this for, Karl?
I think we started in 2017.
2017.
That's when we started talking about doing stuff like this. In 2018, we got going, and then you go through your hurdles, get in your trademarks, your patents, and all the other stuff, and then you get going. After 5 years, things are going smoother. It always takes a lot longer than you thought. We're hoping it to.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Yeah, because you're almost coming up on, well, pretty close to 10 years of doing this.
Yeah, a lot longer than you think. It's so much fun though too. To watching where guys are buying from when you get an order. It's like, oh, this one went to Idaho, this one went to Florida, Miami. Why would they be buying it, right? It's stuff like that. I get excited about stuff like that.
That's really cool.
Where do they see it?
Yeah, and then but kind of like what you said though too, because those trucks are maybe hauling stuff up further north.
Yep.
And they want to be on top of it and be proactive and make sure that they're able to keep moving. So that makes sense to me. But what's you mentioned like that process of trademarking, copywriting, and stuff like that. How long did that take for you guys to go through that with this product?
The trademark, we ended up going through Germany to begin with because you can get it in a few weeks. In Canada, it took about 2 years to get it, and they say it can take longer than that typically. So Germany was definitely the right way to do that process. It was quick.
Interesting.
I don't know why it works that way, but every country is so different.
And that allowed you to have kind of like an international trademark on the product then?
That's just that country.
Just like, okay, for per country.
Yeah. So we're trademarked in Germany and in Canada at this point. Patented in Canada and the US.
Very cool. Nice.
That all took time, but whatever. Then you got to deal with the guys that are trying to copy your patent after that, right?
Yeah. I bet. Do you have a bit of that?
That's happened already too, yeah.
Really? That's too bad. I feel like some of that could be genuinely not knowing.
Well, I think it's knowing. It's knowing.
Okay. This one's definitely knowing. Okay. All right. These guys.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I just think, there's like some stuff that, there are lots of people with like good ideas. There's just a lot of lack of action on things. So sometimes I have had that thought I could totally see two people making a similar thing, right, over time. But that's too bad that, it appears they know.
When it comes from China,
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. Well, where are these manufactured, I guess, on that?
Locally here in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Yeah.
The straps are sourced from numerous different places too. So.
Okay, cool. So they're manufactured locally in Manitoba. So Manitoba made product.
Yeah.
And you're shipping across states, Canada. And you said, so you're patenting in Germany. Are you selling over to a European market as well with this product?
No, the odd one has sold into other countries like Chile, Colombia, Japan. We've sold a few. France, we've sold some.
Cool.
But I think even New Zealand, we sold some down to there. But it's mostly North America.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. I mean, it's closer to distribution, but you're right in the heart of North America from where you are. So that makes it a little easier. But no, it's fantastic. Oh, what's been another big hurdle that you've gone through, Karl? I know you mentioned kind of like now we're caught maybe some people trying to replicate the product and stuff, but getting into stores and what would be a good fit for, I guess, the store for you guys in the future?
I think a good fit for a store would be like a hunting store, hunting, fishing, off-road type.
Yeah.
And I think another big hurdle is you'll get into a trucking company, and I don't want to offend anybody here, but I think a lot of owners probably will say, yeah, they have this trouble with their salespeople is, oh yeah, we'll give it to our guy to go sell. But it's like the sales guys have no
Right.
ambition to do that extra little bit to try to make a sale. It's like they'd rather be order takers than be aggressive to get out there and sell. I don't think
Right.
anybody will go out there and try to sell it more than I will myself, because it's my business, right? Me and my partner, like, we'll go out there and bang. I don't mind banging on doors, cold calling. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But try to hire someone to go and do it. They'd rather just take their paycheck and not do anything and wait for the phone to ring. But it doesn't seem to, you'll never get ahead doing that unless you get really lucky with a business. But
right. Yeah. So basically already having like those sales channels like existing and finding that correct person in that way, then that would be a big win for your business in that sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, how do you find I think the biggest hurdle is, how do you find that person to take it and go with it and try to sell and make an extra dollar for himself, and not just throw it in the back seat of the truck and, well, I'll wait for these guys to order. Well, they didn't ask for it. I think that's probably going to be the number one hurdle I've come across. And I'm sure there's a lot of other business owners going to tell you exactly the same thing with their sales reps.
Right. Actually getting out and doing the sale.
Yeah. Don't be scared to go and ask, right? Just go and do it. So if they say no, what's the big deal? And they said no, you just try again.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Very, no, definitely hitting home there. And definitely from folks I've chatted with too, that business development and sales roles are definitely harder to, to fill. But I mean, there's different ways that people buy and get, influence, no pun on the word, but there's, a whole business out there of folks that are getting paid to unwrap demo products on their own time and send off, like a promo code and stuff. So there is that side of the world that exists too, right?
Yeah.
But hard to say how successful that truly is versus showing up and knocking on a door like yourself. And like you said, no one's going to care as much as you, the owner, probably.
Exactly.
In that case, so
in the end, it has to feed me and pay for the expense of building the product and growing the company. So sometimes if you don't do it yourself, it doesn't get done.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I know you told me before you've gone on like road trips and stuff and kind of gone and done a tour and shown people. And what was the reaction like when folks would see the product at first and never seen it before and you're going in there?
A lot of guys, why didn't I think of this? You hear that a lot.
Right. Yeah.
It's so simple. And it is like, it is simple, but I guess a matter of just what you think of and taking it to the next level is sometimes the thing that holds you back, or you're scared to try it. But you get both reactions. Oh, we don't need it. And some places I stopped right away, they ordered a bunch of stuff for their store. That's happened too. But then, like I said, the guys don't try to sell it after they get it in the store.
Right.
It's the promotion. It's all about the promotion of the product. And if you walk in, you see it on a tire, then it clicks, oh, this is what this is for. I could have used that last week instead of using a tow truck.
Right. Yeah, and you almost need that pain point to happen, unfortunately. So you kind of need some people to probably need the tow truck.
Yeah.
to then help you for next time. So
exactly.
Huh. Interesting, Karl. Yeah, I never would have thought about that side of it. But in terms of the not needing a thing, I was thinking that people might be more, on those tours, just all being like, oh, duh, like this is a good idea. We should get at least some, or have a few here to try out. Would be my first inkling on that side of things there. But yeah, that's what's been the biggest surprise on someone's reaction or along the journey.
We had a few guys at the Minneapolis trade show 2 years ago. They were so excited when they saw it. It's like you wish you would have videoed it. They were just, oh, we could have used this, and they were just on and on and on. It would have made such a nice video.
Yeah.
And it was just hilarious. But stuff like that makes you feel good. Or when the guys reply, oh yeah, it worked. They saved them. They were stuck in a blizzard on the lake and they couldn't get out. It saved their lives. Well, we've gotten those emails, right? You get stuff like that, then it's like, oh, it was worth doing all this stuff.
That's really cool. Yeah. No, that would be very rewarding, especially if it is, hey, we got stuck in a really bad spot.
Yep.
Pulled your product out. And And just, I guess, like to say this as an obvious thing, but because I think I still have a set of these in my garage somewhere.
Probably never used them.
I don't know. Well, I haven't got stuck yet, but I do need to throw them in the truck. It's a good reminder, but they'll fit right under the seat. Like they're smaller than a shoebox in the
Right.
case that they come in too. Just to say this out loud, because you mentioned like weight before, but just like size here, like they're. I mean, obviously you hold them up on screen. Some people might not have that section, pardon me, on the video here. But yeah, they're not monster size. They're very convenient. I'd guess it'd be like the size of this like notebook on my end of things, really. And then that sticks on tire, like we talked about. Just to say the size out loud, so people know that okay, like this is a convenient thing. Doesn't take up lots of space in the vehicle, and can totally save you in a sticky situation. So it is a no-brainer. So go buy them.
Yeah.
But
you're my sales guy now.
Yeah, I guess so. That's basically how this happened. Yeah. But and that's fantastic. So, and are you doing any, like we mentioned, so outside of like those ones in the States, are you doing anything locally coming up here in the fall at all? Did we miss anything there, or that's not currently on the radar?
We have nothing current for this fall in Winnipeg area or Manitoba,
Yeah.
but if all of a sudden something pops up, we can. That's not a problem.
Yeah. No, I think just, I mean,
I don't
that's
know of
just,
any trade shows coming up here until later in the wintertime for Manitoba. So
yeah, I don't know either. But now I'm going to put my thinking cap on, so I'll have to call you back after we're done this
Yeah.
episode.
but I will be banging on some trucking company doors. That's guaranteed.
Yeah. Good. No, that's fantastic. Okay, well, and then where do you see the next? So how many years are you into this thing? We figured about 7 now?
Yes.
About 7 years in. So, and what do you see the next 7 looking like for this product? Besides, I know maybe some stuff that you can't mention to date, but where do you see this really going?
You know what? We've got some marketing people helping us now along the way, because that's something we just didn't know. So we're using farmers marketing here in Winnipeg, but the promotion aspect of it is really growing, and a lot of trucking companies are inquiring now, stuff like that. So I see it realistically. I see it going into more storefronts over the next few years, because we're going to take that route rather than just be online. We'll try to expand both ways. Because sometimes you might be walking through whichever store it is and you see it there on the shelf, or rather than wait to order it online, you can just pick it up, right?
100%. Yeah. You know, and there's always that balance, right? Because it is easy to order stuff online in some ways, but other ways, it's not like if it hasn't jumped out at you or just doesn't click in the right way, it sometimes is nice to see it and be able to grab it and go right from there. We're so funny in that way, right? We get advertised something enough and we'll just grab it automatically. I think, you know, Costco's a great example of that, right? They just basically have enough products there and have the right amount of options. Price point's good, and people just automatically click with a lot of stuff that's in there. So,
and not everybody goes online to look at stuff either. Not everybody's a Facebook junkie and stuff like that. So they'll never see it otherwise, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a portion of the population that's not doing online, and frankly, they enjoy, you know, going to the store and finding something like this in person. So definitely something to be said for that. And you know, Karl, this is a weird question to ask because it kind of relates back to like sales, but do you know how many of these have you sold to date? What does that number look like for you guys?
It's in the thousands, but I couldn't give you a number off the top of my head. I wouldn't. It's many thousands. I'll say that.
Many thousands. Awesome. No, that's great. You're helping thousands of folks, you know, maybe get out of sticky situations. Come wintertime, a little bit of ice out there, or maybe spring too. I mean, spring's probably worse, or like you said, more popular on certain parts of your business.
Yeah. Usually from December through to March, April, depending. Like last winter was a waste because there was no snow in a lot of places, but a normal winter would be good throughout that whole time.
Yeah. Cool. It'd be neat if we had the stat on like how many people you've helped get unstuck from that side too. Sold thousands, helped, you know, hundreds from their end, but it's still like I mean, it's just a vote of confidence, right?
Totally.
You mentioned easy to install, and then, you know, it's like, because I don't have a shovel in my truck, you know, even if I were to get stuck, hopefully a 4x4 would help, but that's not always probably the case, I guess, you know, for situations out there. But like you said, more big rig or like delivery truck style things, garbage truck, more industrial cases, like that's where you're really going to have an upside to a product like this in terms of keeping the wheels turning
exactly
on your operation. So yeah,
the boss doesn't make money if the worker's not moving.
Yeah, no doubt. And Carl, something I think you might have mentioned before, but besides online, how can folks like demo and see this product in action on social medias and stuff? You have some video content, it sounded like when we were talking about before, available for people to check out. Where can they find you?
Facebook Marketplace, Instatraction.com, our website. I guess there's supposed to be some stuff on Instagram and Twitter also.
Okay.
That would be our online presence right now. I guess there'll be more stuff popping up in the future here, but that's what the marketing guys are there for, to figure out where to put that stuff.
Good. Okay. And all the handles are at Instatraction, just the way that it's set on the
I
screen
believe
here?
so, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Awesome.
We're on Twitter too a little bit, or I guess you call it X now. So
yeah, Twitter, X. Okay, so we're on that one. whatever it is called. So yeah, no, that sounds great, Carl. There's we'll include those links in the bottom of the bio here too. Is there anything else that you want to share about the product or up and coming things for fall here? Otherwise, I think we're good on our end.
They make a great gift if you haven't already got one. Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, whichever, your wife's birthday, buy them.
I like it. Awesome.
And you know what? If you buy it and put it in your vehicle and never use it, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. You had it there if you needed it. It's like a spare tire then, in the case, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. You have to have it, but you hope that you never have to use it.
Yeah. It's like the fisherman has to have that extra lure that's going to work really well, but it's the same thing.
I like it. I like that a lot. No, that's fantastic, Carl. Yeah, I know you're a busy guy, so thanks again for making time to be on the episode here today. And I'm so glad we got to talk about Instatraction with you. I love the idea of this product. Obviously, it is already helping thousands of people out on the road. So we're here with you. Excited to see where the journey takes you further down the road here. And thanks for making time for us to be on the podcast today.
Well, thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. And make sure you put that set in your truck. They don't help you in your garage.
I will do. I'll go do that right after this episode here. So we're ready for when the snow flies.
Perfect.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you very much.